can easily start their work on the MapReduce. But if you people don't have the knowledge of the Java, if some other user is in your department or somewhere else, and if they don't have the knowledge of the Java, what will happen? How the people will make use of the Hadoop system? So for that purpose, we have one technology that is known as the pig, and that is the replacement. Something we can tell that the pig is the replacement part of the MapReduce for the person who doesn't have the knowledge of the Java programming language. So what is the pig and how it came into picture? In today's class we are going to see that one. Okay, so that in our today's session we have the topic that is known as the pig. Why we need pig and how it is been developed by which company, and who is responsible, and who are the different companies who are completely using this pig concept in their development side. So now we are going to see something about that pig only. Okay, so our MapReduce is completely a Java based programming knowledge and the technique. For the person who is not aware of the Java programming language, there might be a problem that how the person can handle that same code that is written in the MapReduce. Simple, we have seen one word count example, that in the picture also we have seen one word count example. In that the same picture and the same example we can do it in the MapReduce also and in the pig also. Here the difference is that in the case of the MapReduce, if that code we are writing the code for the word count problem, it will be around 200 lines. Suppose it that's not the fixed lines. So suppose if it is written in the 200 lines, then we were able to execute that word count program. The same thing, if the person who is not having the knowledge of the Java, he will not write the MapReduce programming. He is going to use the pig. The person who is using the pig language will write the same program within 10 lines and he will get the same output. Okay, so this is the difference between the pig and the MapReduce. We cannot say that the pig is a complete replacement of the MapReduce. Some of the programming and some of the our daily examples is there that cannot be completely solved by the pig language. That for that purpose we require the MapReduce only. So now what is pig? Our first topic for the pig is what is pig? So pig is simply known as the data flow language or the scripting language. Pig is a scripting language or the data flow language that is work something like the MapReduce only. Who is the company who has developed this pig language? Now we may see one slides on our screen that is related to something pig only. So earlier we know that the systems that is used by and the given by the different companies. So we know that the first time the MapReduce concept was introduced by the Google people only. Later on, the total concept of the Hadoop as the open source was jointly given by the Yahoo peoples, their R&D and the cloud computing teams. Later on, some of the companies also joined, Facebook, some other companies, so in their development side. Similar to our Hadoop and MapReduce, Microsoft has also given one technology for data analysis that is known as DataEdge. So that DataEdge is not a part of our syllabus, that is completely different one. Here our topic is why we need pig and what is pig, how we can write the pig programming. So for that purpose we have to remember the diagram or the problem that we have seen in the word count example. So on the screen you may be able to find out some MapReduce input records. These input records are when we just split our block of data, it will be split into different number of the blocks that you may be able to see it on the screen, that on the very left hand side our data, the big data has been split into the n number of the input records, and for each of the block we have a separate copy of the mapping function. Then from this mapping function a key and value pair will be generated. for each and every mapping function there will be a key and value output. Then after that key and value pair, what will happen? Whatever the output we are getting from the mapping functions in the form of the key and value, that will be again shuffled and sort to send it to the reducer function. Then from that reducer function we will get our output like this one, the final output. So what's happening here? Here we have to work a lot for writing the MapReduce programming. For suppose we have one program. In that program we have to take the input files as our data. What will be the first step? First we need to split that data into the equal number of the blocks, and for each blocks we have to make a separate function, and from that function, that is known as the mapping function, you may be able to see it on the screen that this is the mapping function. Then for from this mapping function a key value pair will be generated, and that key value pair will be again shuffled and sorted, then it will be sent to the reducer, and from that reducer all the output will be joined together to give us the final output. So this is this process involves a lot of the work for a simple work. Okay, now what will be the solution for this one? Means how could we easily manage the same work without expending our time and money in this writing like the MapReduce programming? What will be the different solution? So before going for the solution of this MapReduce programming, first we will see what are the different disadvantages of using the MapReduce function. Means how the MapReduce is not going to be given the priority, the topmost priority in our data concept, the Hadoop concept. So the first disadvantage of using the MapReduce programming is that it is extremely rigid data flow. Rigid data flow means what? It will first given to the mapping function, and whatever the output coming from the mapping function in the form of the key and value, that will be sent to the reducer functions after some internal steps. Then from that reducer function we are getting the output. This is our first disadvantage of the MapReduce programming. As you on the screen also you can see that there is certain data flow of our input files is going through the different processes through the two functions, that is the map function on the screen. This is the mapping function and this is the reducer functions. This is the first disadvantage. How we can explain this one? So see here, first time when we have the block of data, that block of data first we have to split that, then again we have to join that at the last. So it will take a lot of time, so the performance will be also low when you are just going to configure the Hadoop in your system. And for the simple programming, another example in the Hadoop 1 function is that is the calculation of the pi value, that we may aware of the pi, that is the value is 22/7 or 3.142. So for that function, when you are going to execute or run that your program in your Hadoop cluster, it will take around some times, and that times will be also given as the output. In the section of the output, a time will be also given that your programming has been completed in this particular seconds. So why so much time has been taken by this program for simple value? Because internally we have the splitting function for the MapReduce, that is known as the partitioner, then sorting, shuffling, again at the last we have the combiner function, that will be the work at the for the joining of the output. So this is the major defect of the MapReduce functions. You may be able to see it on the screen also. So joining and splitting are the two different and difficult work for the concept of the MapReduce functions. So is there any question arises in your mind for this point of time? Do you have any question? Hello?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you have any question at this point? Means what is the disadvantage of the MapReduce?
Yeah, basically the MapReduce you have to write lot of code in mapper and reducer. So
and
so there is a
it's also the time taking, because the data has to be splitted, then it will be joined again after the sorting, shuffling step, then it will take a lot of time. Okay.
But pig program also converted into the map reduce. So how can we say that the pig program will be the fastest?
Yeah, that's what we are going to discuss in today's class. Something about the introduction of the pig. Means what are the some advantage over the map reduce. Okay. So we have certain advantage of the pig over the map reduce. So for going to the advantage of the map reduce means pig, we have to first go through the and mark out the disadvantage of the map reduce. Okay. So on the screen also you may be able to see one difficult work in the case of map reduce, that is the splitting of data into the equal volume of the size. Then after the at the last we have to join the same. Okay. So this is the one of the drawback of the map reduce function.
Right.
Yeah. So as I told you, in the case of the map reduce, we may have the n number of the mapper functions. Means for each splitted block, we will have separate mapper function. Okay. And the reducer may be a single also, or it may be multiple. It will depend upon the user. So that is the advantage and the disadvantage of the map reduce. Second one. What is the second one disadvantage of the map reduce? So we have to perform our whatever the code we have written for the map reduce to calculate a normal programming for the word count or the pi value. For that there will be internally some different steps. What are the different steps? Something that is known as join, filter, projection, aggregate, sorting, distinction. So all these are the internal work of the map reduce. Okay. For that reason only the map reduce takes a lot of time. So Arvind, when you have configured your Hadoop, you have to just execute one or two simple program. Okay. That is the by default program given by the Hadoop only. Okay. Then after that just try the one program you have to write into the Eclipse. How it is written into the Eclipse, that we will see in the next class or the some separate class, because some persons are not from the Java background. Okay. Okay. So for that, yeah, for that,
we will execute from the Eclipse.
Yeah. Whatever the code for the map reduce you are going to write, so that you have to write in the Eclipse only, and from that Eclipse you have to make the jar file of your code. Okay. And then that jar file will be kept into your Hadoop example folder. Okay. And then you have to just execute whatever the code. Yeah, whatever the programs you have seen earlier, and that is the word count, one simple program. The same for that also you have to write one program and see what is the difference. There will be no difference, only the time taking. Okay. That is the so that we will see in the separate classes. Okay.
Okay.
You are working in the development Java programming, then why you are switching towards the Hadoop admin side?
No, Hadoop development I want to learn, as well as the Hadoop admin activity I want to do, because it's somewhere the demand for the Hadoop developer, so I can show that I have a Hadoop admin activities I know. Okay. Basically Hadoop admin what he does basically cluster management. So one developer should know all these activities basically, not purely admin. But at least some functionalities are required, like how to manage the nodes and how to make a cluster, secondary name nodes.
Yes. So that whatever you are asking, the almost 80 to 85% of the developer and the admin syllabus are same. Okay.
Yeah.
In that also, in the development or in the admin, you have to read the pig, hive, database, all the things whatever you have read till now. So that way you have to also read. Okay. So now we will see the third disadvantage of the map reduce. What are the third disadvantage of the map reduce? That is the semantics hidden. What is the meaning of the semantics? What is the word semantics?
Syntax is related to syntax.
No, actually the syntax and semantics, two words we are using. Semantics actual meaning is the meaning only. Syntax related to a structure, and semantics, that is the meaning. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So whatever the map and reduce functions we are writing, we are going to write only the mapper function in our Eclipse. When we are going to write using the Java program, we have to write one mapper function, one reducer function, and there will be one main function who can handle both the mapper and reducer. Okay. but internally there will be a lot many functions that will be required, and that will be internally working in the concept of the MapReduce. So all that will help you to write the MapReduce programming, but it will take a lot of time. So for this overcoming of this concept, we have something or some language or some concept that is not the time taking and that can solve our problems easily. Whatever the problem we are going to solve using the MapReduce, the same problem can be solved by the other technology without any extra time. Okay, so for that concept only we have one topic that is known as a PIG. What is PIG? So the actual definition for PIG is a high level data flow language. What is PIG? PIG is a high level data flow language. Sometimes it is also known as the scripting language. Okay,
Right.
so on the desktop you may be able to see one diagram is there. Okay, are you able to see that?
Yes, yes, yes.
So that diagram is showing some properties of the pig. So you may be able to see on the first top right side pig Latin. What is that pig Latin? So the pig concept is totally divided into two parts. One is the language and second one is the compiler. So that language which we are going to write, that is equivalent to MapReduce, is known as the pig Latin. Okay, and on the green one you may be able to see some features of the pig. So what are the different features of the pig? So it is scalable. You know better what is the meaning of scalable, and that is the second one is the cheap. Means if you have to write the less number of the code, then it will automatically cheap only. Okay, then it's control over execution. How you want to execute your program, that will be totally in your hands. Okay, suppose if you want to group your data, so for grouping we have the simple command, that is a group. For filter we have the command that is known as filter. For loading a file from the memory or the SDFS into your system, we have the load command. So that is the something that is easy. If the person doesn't know anything, he can also, by seeing the example, he can easily tell what will be the output of this program. If any program is written using the pig, if the person is unaware of the Hadoop technology, he may also be able to tell you the output, means working of your program by seeing your coding. Okay, but the MapReduce code, whatever you are writing, the normal person who doesn't have the knowledge of the MapReduce or the Java, he will not be able to tell what is the output of these programs and how this program will work. So for that purpose we are going to see the pig. Then a question arises, is the first question in the concept of the pig. What is pig? Just defined by you. Just tell me something about the pig. As we have told that in the beginning only, that pig is a
Data flow language.
data flow language. Okay, that is a high level data processing language. Okay, and it will be some reliable and scalable also. That are the properties of the pig. And the pig, whatever the Hadoop concept that is given by the Yahoo peoples, is totally now a open source project. Okay, means whatever the Yahoo team has developed something about the Hadoop, whatever the technology and the language they have developed, they just give it to the Apache Foundation software and they make it in the open source. So here on the screen also you may be able to see that is a pig is an Apache open source project. Okay, and if you are working on the Java language, you may be able to you may be familiar with what is the open source, because most of your frameworks are the open source only. Struts, Hibernate. Yeah, there is no need of that explanation what is open source. Yeah. The third line, you may be able to see that pig provides an engine for executing data flow in parallel on Hadoop. The same parallel work is also done by MapReduce. Okay, so whatever the function, the parallel computation is done in the MapReduce, the same will also be done by using the pig. Now a question in your mind, who was the company who has invented this pig language? Any guesses?
Developed by Yahoo. initially,
Yeah.
and later it became a open source
Yes, yes,
from
yes.
Apache.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and Yahoo is, if Yahoo is doing some work using the Hadoop, means if it is using the concept of Hadoop in his programming or the application, then in right now in Yahoo team, the 40% of the Hadoop job is done by the pig concept only. Why? Because this is a very easy language. Okay. So for that purpose only, the Yahoo development team who is working on the Hadoop, they are using the pig. Then we may able to see some of the other companies that are also a big user of the pig Latin language. So best known example is the Twitter. Okay.
Yes.
Now a question arises here. On the screen, you may be able to see one diagram. Okay, in that diagram, the left hand side, you may be able to see one block, and on the right hand side, you may be able to see one block. That all are made on the working of the pig and the map reduce. Okay, so here first we will see this. Here what is there? 1 out of 20 lines of the code, means if we are doing the same example using the map reduce or using the pig, so this much amount of lines will be required by the pig. How much amount of the lines is required by the Hadoop? That is the map reduce. So see here, this much amount of the lines required by the map reduce. So in this example, you may be able to see that it is greater than 160, somewhere between 160 to 170, 180, that will be approx 170 lines. If you are writing any program using the Hadoop cluster, that is the map reduce, and if you are able to complete your work in the 170 line, the same work can be done by the pig less than 20. You may be able to see it on the screen. Are you seeing that? Hello? Hello, Arvind?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Lines of code, there's a difference.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the first block will indicate the lines of the code. Okay. The same problem is done by this Hadoop MapReduce in 170 lines, and in the pig it will be around one less than 20 lines. It may be 10 to 12 lines. So this is the first parameter where we are differentiating between the MapReduce and the pig. That is the number of the lines. That is the memory. On the right hand side, you may be able to see one block similar to that one also. Here, this is for the development time. How much development time will be required for that project? Okay, if you are using the map reduce concept, it will take around this much of the time. Okay, that is in the picture. If it is showing that map reduce programming is taking something like the more than 250 minutes, then that will be also done by the pig less than 50 minutes. Okay, this is the main reason why we are going to use the pig as the replacement of the map reduce. We can't say that the map reduce is completely replaced by pig. There might be certain condition where the map reduce is preferred over the pig. Okay, but for the normal usage, the pig is preferred over the map reduce. So this diagram is clear to you all, or any confusion do you have in understanding of this diagram? I thought it will be very clear, because there is nothing in this one.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
only certain changes is there, that is the comparison is there. Okay, now and this is a simple config means this is only the comparison between the map reduce and pig. Now we have to see what is that pig. Okay, so this picture is the complete architecture of the pig. You may be able to see this one. Are you able to see this picture?
Yes, yes. Yeah,
Yes.
pig architecture.
Yeah, as we already discussed that when you write your code, it will internally work on the concept of the map and reduce only. Means when we are discussing about the topic of the Hadoop ecosystem, we have seen one diagram that on the very left hand side, on the bottom side we have the SDFS, then on top of that we have the map reduce, and on the top of the map reduce we have some technology that is known as the pig, uji, flum, hive, hbase, something are there. Okay, you might be able to remember that diagram. Are you able to remember that diagram, or should I show that diagram? Let's just wait for some times. I'll show you the diagram, and then only it will be easy for you.
Which diagram you showing?
Hadoop ecosystem.
Okay, Hadoop ecosystem where all the components are there.
Yes, yes.
Components.
All the modules of the Hadoop cluster is shown there.
Yeah, right. Here, pig, hive.
Yes, means how that are placed on each and every one. And that I'll show later. I have to search that one.
Pig is on the top of the SDFS, right?
No,
On the top.
the very first bottom side we have the SDFS. Okay.
Right.
On the top of that SDFS we have the map reduce. Okay.
Right.
Because for running the map reduce we need the SDFS, and on the top of that map reduce there was some technology, that is the pig, hive, hbase, something like that. Okay.
Yeah.
It simply means that if you are going to run your pig programming, for running the pig programming the map reduce is essential. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. So see here.
It will be converted into
Yeah. When you are going to write the pig programming, that is a pig scripting language example, when you are just writing, it will internally convert that into the map and reduce. Then only the work will be performed. So this diagram, whatever the diagram you are seeing on the screen, that is representing the pig architecture. So see here, this internal block is known as simply the pig. Leave this, whatever the things it is here, we will discuss that in our upcoming topic. What is shell, what is pig Latin, what is execution engine. So simply leave that and consider the all these as a pig only. Okay. So for running this pig example, we need MapReduce along with the SDFS. Without MapReduce and SDFS, we can't be able to run our pig example. So this is the example which is showing the pig architecture. Now we have some topics, that what are the different or the major components of the pig scripting language. Okay. So the concept of the pig is divided into two parts. I told you earlier also that pig has also the two major component. That is the first one, what we are discussing, that is the data processing language or the scripting language or the data flow language, whatever you want to call, you can call. That is known as the pig Latin. Okay. And second one is the compiler, means that will compile that pig Latin codes. Okay.
code. Yes.
And here some points are written that pig also supports a local mode for the development purpose. Means when we are going to install the pig, after installation, if we are going to write the program, okay, then there are two possibility. We can write our pig program in a normal mode, or second one is the map reduce mode. Okay. So whatever the mode, if you are selecting, both are same, internal working is same, only certain differences is there that we will see in the upcoming topics. So pig Latin, what is pig Latin? It is simply the one line definition is that it is a data flow language. Okay. Or we can also say it as a scripting language. And it is a somewhat replacement for the map reduce, but not the completely. Okay. Because the person who is having the knowledge of the Java, they will also use the pig also and the map reduce also.
Basically, through pig we cannot handle the unstructured data like video, images. I think so. Only the XML data.
So yeah, there are certain situation when we want only the pig, and there are certain situations then where we did require only the map reduce. So that will be
Right.
that we will see later. Okay. Now we have the only the introduction part of the pig. Now here also on the screen we have one question: which one is better, pig or the map reduce? So it's not 100% confirm or the clear that pig is the 100% replacement of the map reduce. That is the same thing we have written on the slides also. In some cases, what are the different cases? In some cases, the pig doesn't perform as well as programs written in the MapReduce. Means if you are using the anyhow, whatever the concept we are going to use in the case of the pig, it internally work on the concept of the MapReduce only. Okay. If there are certain condition where only MapReduce possibility is there, we have to use the MapReduce. What are the different possibilities? So we have just discussed that MapReduce pig programming can be written into two modes. First one is the normal mode and second one is the MapReduce mode. So whatever the code we are writing on the normal mode, there may be a chance that it is not applicable and that is not suitable 100% completely for the MapReduce. Okay, that when we are going to write the some scripting of using the pig, it will be clear. So now we will discuss one problem. Okay, before going to discuss this problem, I have one question to you, all of you. Just tell me, do you have any question till now?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just wait. One other person's I'll ask it her only whether she is having any problem or not. So on the screen also some sentences has been written. Okay. Yeah, this is the question just we have discussed, when we should use the MapReduce and when we should use the pig. That is depends upon the user. Okay, that will be totally depend upon the user. It will not depend upon the system. If the person having the knowledge of the pig, he can easily write. If the person have only the knowledge of the MapReduce, we can write easily. So how to differentiate between the use of the MapReduce and the pig, that we will see while doing some example. By seeing the example only, you may be able to see that for this purpose we need the MapReduce and for this purpose we need the pig. And one example, that is the word count example, that we will see in the each and every case in the Hadoop. That is the by default example given to the total concept of the Hadoop. So for this time we are taking the same problem. We have one word count problem. So just see on the screen, you may be able to see some nursery rhymes is written. That is a Mary had a little lamb. It is written here. Are you able to see this one? Hello?
Yes. Yeah.
All people
Yeah,
are
it
able
is
to see
written
this diagram, means whatever the nursery rhymes is written here.
Yes.
That Mary had a little lamb. And from this one, you have to count the number of the words. Okay, means how many words, how many times the Mary had came. Okay, so for each and every words you have to make one counting. How you will count that one? Okay, for that you have to see using the MapReduce, and then later on you have to see the same example using the pig. Now here is a comparison. Here is a comparison between the MapReduce and the pig. So just have a look on this rhyme. Okay, now you have read this problem. First we are going to solve using the MapReduce. Okay, where we are going to make use of the two reducer function. I am going to use the make of the two reducer function. So how the reducer function will be decided? So Arvind, you may be able to see it on the screen also. We have decided the two reducer function. Out of that, first reducer function will take only the words starting with A to L. Are you able to see this one? Yeah, this is not the fixed one. We have just only taken this example. So whatever the words starting with the A and starting with the up to L will be taken to one reducer function, and whatever the remaining words, that is starting with M to the Z, will be taken to the second reducer function. Okay. So now we will see how it is working. See, on the screen you may be able to see one diagrammatic explanation for that problem using the map reduce concept. Your whatever the line written here there are total 4 lines. Okay, so these 4 lines has been divided into 4 blocks. First line first block, second line second block, third line third block, and fourth line fourth block. Okay, now your data or whatever the file you have, that is splitted, that is divided into 4 blocks, and you may be able to see that for each and every block we have one separate function, mapping function. Okay, and from this mapping function all the data present inside this block will be counted. First, that is you may be able to see that Mary occurs one time, had one time, a little lamb, some, all are just counted. From this also, from all the mapping function, whatever the output we are getting, that is some shuffled way. Now we have to rearrange, that is the sort and shuffle on the output of the mapping function, and then we have to send this output to the reducer function. So see, first time we have decided that the first reducer will take only the words starting with A and A to L. So see here, A to L, here this word Mary is not starting with A to L, so it will be sent to the second reducer. You may be able to see here, it is going to be sent to the second reducer. Here H A L L, so all 4 are starting with A to L only, so it is going to send to the first reducer. Okay, same thing also apply to second mapper function output, third mapper function output, and fourth mapper function output. Whatever the words starting with the A to L has been sent to the first reducer, and whatever the words that is starting with the M to Z has been sent to this second reducer function, and from this reducer function finally we are able to get the output. Okay, so this is the long steps for writing the word count problem for this a small text file using the map reduce concept. Now tell me, is this problem is clear? Means how the problem is working in the case of the map reduce, is it clear? Or do you have any problem in understanding this problem only?
Yes, it's clear.
Clear, na? So see here,
Yes.
there will be a lot many steps. First mapper, then sorting, then shuffling, and then after reducer, then we are getting the result. There will be n number of the steps. We have seen that the whatever the time requirement or the number of the lines requirement for the mapper is too high, but the same thing we can write into the 4 to 5 lines in the pig. How this same problem we can implement in the pig? So this will be seen here. Okay, just see the slides here, the same problem what the nursery rhyme written in the previous slides, and it will be done here with the help of the pig Latin. Okay, so see here the very first line, that is the load input file from the file named Mary and call the single. That is the, these all are the whatever the words sentences written with this double dash, all are the comment lines. Okay, so you don't go through all the lines, only the lines which are not written with the double dash are your actual pig Latin language. So the lines written, this one, the first line and second lines are only the comment lines, means that will give you the explanation of the this line. Here what I have written, input equal to load Mary as lines. What does this means? Here we are taking one variable type, okay, file that is named as input, and in that input we are loading. What we are loading? We are loading the Mary file. Whatever the nursery rhyme is there, that we have given the name as the Mary. So we are loading Mary. How we are loading that Mary? As a lines, means line by line that rhythm rhyme has been loaded into the one storage that is known as the input. In the case of the pig, whatever the storage is there, we call it as the bag. Okay, so leave it. First here we have to see how we are storing. So this first line is clear to all. Here input equal to load Mary file as a line. Whatever the name of the file you are given, you can give here. Now for loading, we have the load command. So this might be very easy. Is it clear? Hello? Anyone present here right now? Or all have gone? Hello Arvind? Salini, are you there? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah,
Yes,
are you?
yes.
Yeah, see.
Yes, I'm there.
So this first
Yes.
line, yeah, this is the first line of your pig Latin. That is the input equal to load Mary as the line. Here what is
Yeah,
happening?
load.
You are simply loading the file, and for loading we
Yeah,
have the load command. Okay. Then what you are
yes.
loading? You are loading the Mary file as how you are loading? You are loading as a line by line. So for that we are mentioning here the line. We have loaded that file into the input. One variable is there where
Input.
we are loading the file. Now this is the first line. Okay. After that again we have the certain number of the comment lines. What are the first comment line? Tokenize splits the line into a field for each words. Then flatten will be collection of records written by the tokenize, and it's simply telling that whatever the files that are present into the mapping funds that are present into the our files in a particular block, okay, that will be broken together, means Mary, then had a little, means it will be splitted into the small pieces. Okay, each and every line will be splitted into the small pieces. Now what will be our next line of pig Latin program? So see, this is the second line of our pig Latin. We are again taking one variable or the storage area name as the words. What we are going to store in these words? Words equal to for each input generate flatten tokenize line as words, means whatever the data you have read for a particular line, that will be tokenized. This is the tokenize function, that is a by default function in the pig. This function simply tokenize, means it will break the one line into the small pieces according to the words. So here also we are telling that just tokenize all the tokenize the lines as the words, means if there are in a line, if there are 4 words, that 4 tokens will be made. Okay. So any confusion
It
in
will be divided through the space.
sorry?
It will be divided through the. It will be divided by default by space.
Yeah,
How
it will.
it will.
Yeah, it will be divided by space only, because we are telling
We
that
are not mentioned.
here we are telling that divide as words. Okay. So how the words will be count? It will be counts only with the help of the space. Okay. So that will
This
be
word is a pig syntax. This as word is a pig syntax.
yeah, it is a pig by default.
Okay, pig syntax, na? As
Yes,
word.
yes, yes. This is a predefined syntax. Means here in the first line you have seen that as lines. Means it will divide your files into the line by line. Okay. Now what we are doing in the second line, we are dividing the tokens of the lines as a words. Means it will divide that a particular line now by word by word. Okay. And how it is going to divide? So it will take the only the help of the space, that is the by default. And now if we are going to divide that line, it will be stored in somewhere. So for that we have taken one file or the storage area that is named as words. Okay, now the second line is clear. Hello.
Yes, clear. Yes.
Okay, then
it is dividing the word to the group of words.
Yeah, it is dividing simply the lines by words. Okay, now
it is basically an array. This words is an array. This words is the array, this field.
no, it is not array, but it is simply the storage area. Something like when you have the one file now, you can divide that.
Actually, type we have not defined. So
here there is no type. There is no type. It's only text. Here we have also not defined the type. Okay.
Yeah, right.
So there is no need to define the types, whether you are using the characters or whatever the thing. There is no need to define the types. Okay. That is the by default properties of this pig. Now whatever the words you have, now in the first line you have divided your files into the lines, and in the second line what is happening, whatever the lines, each lines will be divided into the different words. Okay, now after that what you have to do, here in the third line you may be able to see that grpd. Here what is grpd? It is a simple variable. You can take any variable like this words input. Here in the problem one word is taken as, that is known as the grpd, means simply grouped. What we are going to store in this group? Grouped equal to group words. Whatever these words is there by word, means all the similar words will be taken together in a particular group. Okay, so for grouping we have simple sentence like this: group words by word. Is it clear? This word is a by words, is also a by default one for this pig one, and this word simply refers to this one, whatever the name you have given here, that is known as the words. Means suppose if you have one college, that will be your file. Now your college has been divided into different department, that is known as the lines. Okay, that department will have also the certain number of the students, that will be known as the words. One practical example you can just discuss so it can be clear. Now here in a particular department there will be also some students. Now in that department there will be some sections. Suppose if we have made one section A, so in that section we have to store some students. You have to keep some students, so that function will be done here by the group. Okay, so for that function we have the group. For grouping we have the concept of group. Now what is the next statement? What do you want to do after the grouping? What you have to do after grouping? After grouping you have to simply count. Means if a Mary occurs in a line, how many times it's appear. So for counting we are again taking one storage area CNTD, and here what we are storing for each group. This one group is here. For each group we are generating one group, and that is the using the count. So see here, this count is the by default function of the, like these words, or in the SQL also you may be able to know that what is the count. Count is a by default function for counting the number of times the element is occurring. So for similar that we have also for function in pig known as count for counting. And how it is counting? It is counting according to the words, whatever the words we have generated from the lines, that according to that words only it is counting. Then after counting, what will be your final step? What will be your final step? Can anybody answer that? What will be your final step? Sorry?
Count.
Yeah.
Print the count.
Yeah, means whatever after counting, your final step is to print the result. Okay. How you will print? So for printing, Like in the C we have printf, in C++ cout. Okay. So in the pig Latin we have the command that is known as dump. Okay. If you are want to print something, you have to write using dump. Suppose if you want to print your Hadoop classes, how you will write? You have to write on the terminal dump space Hadoop classes. It will print Hadoop classes as a message. Okay. Is this concept clear? This dump is clear to everyone?
Yes, it's clear. Suppose I want to store in some file.
So for storing we are taking whatever the variable this side. Like mathematical expression, how we can take x equal to something like that. So what is that x?
Right.
X is the particular storage area. Same thing,
Right.
we are same concept we are seeing over here. Okay. So for printing,
right.
we use the command that is dump. Dump, if you write on the terminal, whatever the work here, it is done in the concept of the pig, that will be run on a terminal. Okay. So if you type that command dump, then whatever the value here, it will print that value. Okay. Now on this screen, just tell me how many sentences has been used for printing that word count example. So you may be able to see, this is the first one, this is the second one, this is the third, this is fourth, and finally this is print. So we can say that this work has been completed in the 5 lines, and all the lines is clear. If the person who doesn't have the knowledge about this programming, after seeing also, he can be able to just tell that it is for grouped. We are this sentence, by seeing this sentence, anybody can tell that it is grouping. Okay. After seeing this sentence, anybody can tell that it is counting. Okay. So the map reduce concept, this program, whatever you are seeing on the screen, it is written in the 5 lines. If you are going to write this program into the map reduce using the Eclipse, it will take around approx 100 to 120 lines for completion of this work, and that code will be complex also. You know that how the Java code is complex. If you are printing simply the hello world, it will take 4 to 5 lines. Okay. But here all the syntax along with this storage area is quite easy for loading. We have load command. Okay. So similar to that, this work, whatever the work we are doing in the map reduce, this work has been done here in the 5 lines. Here do you see, is there any need to write the mapping, shuffling, sorting, reducing? Is there any requirement? No. That will be automatically taken care. So if I'll give you one program to write the program to count the number of words in the Hadoop, which technology you are going to use? What technology you will use, or what technology you will prefer? The map reduce or the pig? So anybody can prefer this one only. Why? Because this is the easy one. Okay. Now tell me, just in understanding this program, is there any confusion? The same example we have seen in the case of the map reduce or in the case of the pig only. The same word count example. Is there any confusion in understanding this one? Tell me firstly if you have any doubt, or just simply tell me no. No?
No.
I think nobody will have after seeing this example. Okay. So whatever the advanced concept of this pig means, how to install that pig and how to write that program, we can see it in the tomorrow's class. Okay. Okay.